Have you ever noticed how some people seem completely comfortable being themselves? They speak their minds. They make decisions without constantly asking for permission. And they don't spend hours worrying about what everyone thinks of them. Meanwhile, many people live in a completely different reality. They post something online and immediately check how many likes it got. They change their opinions to fit in. They say yes when they really want to say no. And without realizing it, they become trapped in a cycle of approval seeking. Here's the strange part. Most people think seeking approval will make them feel more confident. But psychology shows the exact opposite. The more approval you chase, the less confident you become. Why? Because every time you need someone else's validation, you're silently telling your brain something dangerous. My opinion isn't enough. Think about that for a moment. When you constantly look outside yourself for reassurance, you train your mind to believe that other people's judgments matter more than your own. Over time, your self-worth becomes dependent on external reactions. A compliment makes you feel great. A criticism ruins your day. A few likes make you happy. A lack of attention makes you question yourself. Your emotional state becomes controlled by people who aren't even thinking about you most of the time. And that's exhausting. But where does approval seeking come from? For many people, it starts in childhood. Maybe praise was only given when you achieved something. Maybe making mistakes led to criticism. Maybe you learned that being liked was safer than being authentic. So your brain developed a survival strategy. Make everyone happy. The problem is that what protects you as a child can limit you as an adult. Because no matter how hard you try, making everyone happy is impossible. Someone will disagree with you. Someone will misunderstand you. Someone simply won't like you. And that's normal. In fact, the most respected people in the world are often the most criticized. Think about successful entrepreneurs, athletes, creators, and leaders. They all have supporters. They also have critics. The difference is that they don't let criticism define their identity. Approval seekers do. They see disagreement as proof that something is wrong with them. Confident people see disagreement as proof that different people have different opinions. That's a huge difference. Here's another hidden cost of approval seeking. It slowly disconnects you from who you really are. Imagine asking 10 people where you should go, what you should wear, what you should believe, and how you should live. Eventually, their voices become louder than your own. You stop making choices based on your values. You start making choices based on what gets the most acceptance. And when that happens, even success can feel empty. Because deep down, you know you're performing for approval instead of living authentically. So how do you break free? Start with a simple question. What would I do if nobody judged me? Think about it honestly. What opinion would you express? What goal would you pursue? What decision would you make? The answer often reveals the version of yourself hidden beneath years of people-pleasing. Another powerful habit is learning to tolerate disapproval. Not everyone has to agree with you. Not everyone has to understand you. And not everyone has to like you. The moment you accept that reality, you become much harder to manipulate because your self-worth is no longer for sale. Real confidence isn't believing that everyone approves of you. Real confidence is knowing you'll be okay even when they don't. And that's what most people never realize. The goal isn't to get more approval. The goal is to need less of it. Because the strongest form of confidence comes from trusting your own judgment. When you stop asking the world for permission to be yourself, something incredible happens. You become freer, calmer, more authentic. And ironically, people often respect you more. Not because you're trying to impress them, but because you're finally comfortable being who you are. Zen Vook ending. So here's today's challenge. For the next 24 hours, make one decision based on your own values instead of someone else's approval. You might be surprised by how powerful that feels. Because confidence doesn't grow when everyone agrees with you. It grows when you learn to trust yourself.